Hey everybody, I'm Mark Bryant, Director of Multimedia Development for the Big South Conference. Hope you are doing well and hope you're fired up for the upcoming ball games because there's a lot of exciting conference play in men's and women's basketball to be had, and a lot of it to be found on the Big South Network. We've got 16 games, 8 in men's play, 8 in women's play, all on the Big South Network, plus one to talk about on ESPN3 as well. So let's jump right into it. Again, I'm Mark Bryant. You can email me, markb@bigsouth.org, if you have any questions about our various online sites and services. And I'm fired up about this week's play. I hope you are too. As I said, there's a lot going on here. Let's get right into it with the men's play. And a quick review of the standings, just so you know where all these teams are coming from. As of Thursday morning, as we record this, of course, going into these games on Thursday night and the upcoming weekend, Coastal Carolina was still on top of the standings at 5-0, with Liberty right behind at 5-1, so a duel at the top for those teams. And, of course, the top seed is very important in Big South play, so they'll continue to contest for that down the road here. But also important to remember the top 4 seeds all host first-round games, and so the battle not only for the top spot, for 2, 3, and 4 as well. And beyond those top 2 teams, Coastal and Liberty, you've got 5 teams in a bunch, all one game above or below 500. Charleston Southern and Winthrop at 3-2, 3-3 for Asheville, and 2-3 for PC and High Point. While PC can't play in the tournament because of their transition, that does leave 4 teams fighting for 2 spots in that group, and very interesting to see how they shake out. Of course, not to be overlooked, VMI is at 2-4, so they're just a game out of that group's pace. And below VMI, then you've got Radford at 1-4, fresh off their first conference win, and Gardner-Webb 1-5. So that's the arc of the standings. To put this into context here, Thursday's games, all 7 o'clock tips. Winthrop at Coastal. Now, of course, the standings somewhat meaningless when these teams meet because it's always a big deal in this historic rivalry. However, we do know the context here. Last time Winthrop was on Coastal's floor, they beat the Chanticleers for the Big South tourney title. Coastal has certainly not forgotten that. A lot of friendly trash talk on Twitter, Facebook, and what have you between the fan bases of these teams this past week, as you might expect. Winthrop at Coastal, 7 o'clock, Big South Network. You might want to check that out. Also, 7 o'clock on the 13th, VMI at Radford, PC at Charleston Southern. And those are the 3 on the Big South Network. I mentioned ESPN3, ESPN3.com right there. Liberty at High Point, free, exclusive worldwide on ESPN3.com. I'll have the pleasure of bringing the call from the Millis Center for Liberty at High Point. Should be an entertaining ball game. All these actually good matchups for Thursday. Skipping ahead to Saturday, and we have a quintet of men's games there, starting with Gardner-Webb at Asheville. That's a 2 o'clock start. 4:30 games for Winthrop at Charleston Southern and PC at Coastal. 7 o'clock tips for VMI at High Point, which should be a run-and-gun ball game, of course, and Liberty at Radford, state rivals. 7 o'clock tip for that. So that's the men's lineup for this week. On the other side, for women's play, here's the Saturday slate, and you got 4 games there. PC at Charleston Southern, that's a 2 o'clock start, as is Asheville at Coastal Carolina. 4 o'clock for Gardner-Webb at High Point, and 7 o'clock for Radford at Winthrop. Now, again, to put these things in context for you, and particularly as we look to Monday, which is next up, for the women's side, Liberty 3-0 as of Thursday, going into the weekend's games. Liberty 3-0, Radford 3-0. So tied at the top, undefeated. Gardner-Webb 2-1, right there at 1 game back. So those kind of form the upper third there. And then you've got a middle group that clumped much like on the men's side, all around break even. You've got Winthrop and PC 1-1, High Point, Charleston Southern 1-2. 2 teams that have yet to win a game, hoping for something to break through this weekend. Coastal Carolina 0-2, Asheville 0-3. So with those things in mind, let's jump to Monday, because we'll see Asheville at Charleston Southern, PC at Winthrop, and here's the big one, Radford at Liberty. Who will have the early statement there, as the 2 teams that have launched out to 3-0 starts meet each other on Liberty's home court Monday night, the 17th at 7 o'clock. So you don't want to miss that one. That one should be a good one. And Gardner-Webb at Coastal, those 4 games, all 7 o'clock starts, all on the the Big South Network. So 8 men's games, 8 women's games, all on BSN, plus the one ESPN3.com game. Now, a reminder, as always, all these games are available individually. If you want to buy any single game, you can do that. They are available, Big South Network, at BigSouthSports.com, Big South Network presented by State Farm, and all those games available at $4.95 a piece. Now, if you want the full season, and there's plenty of season left, by all means, you can do that for men's basketball or women's basketball. If you want the entire lineup for both men and women, then you get that winter package that includes both, just $10 more than what the men's season is. And you can get an annual subscription, more than 700 live events in a calendar year. That's what we've got. You get a full calendar year from when you order. Best deal there is on a per-game basis by far. Give that some thought. All at BigSouthSports.com, including, of course, the Big South Network, presented by State Farm, as well as our links to our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, our blog. Gosh, the Big South is everywhere you want to be. Be sure to check us out. If you have any technical problems, issues, questions with the video streaming, be sure to let our folks with our web and streaming hosts know. Let fan support know. Fan support at newlion.com. New Lion is spelled NEULION.com. You can also give them a call, 877-967-3267. Be sure to specify in your email to them if it's technical support, billing, whatever your area of need may be. Hopefully there won't be an area of need, but again, fan support is there just in case, because there are always lots of things, lots of variables, things that can happen, so we want to be sure you get what you want to see on the Big South Network, presented by State Farm. I'm Mark Bryant from the Big South Conference offices in Charlotte. I hope you enjoy the upcoming games, and we'll talk to you again next week with more from the Big South Conference.